I'm having a hard time here.
Up there?
Like
Okay.
where the softness of the arm and then the scapula and
Okay.
the shoulder. And
Okay.
it's all in shadow, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So with shadow, what you want to do, it's a combination of opening your eyes and looking at them, understanding. Yeah, let me check and make sure she's in the right place.
Go this way? Is that right? That's good.
Good. Okay. So with that shadow, like, so anatomy comes in, like you have to understand anatomy,
Right.
but also that this is a situation where I would open my eyes totally to look and see and understand what's going there, but then continuously squint for everything else. So you're constantly opening your eyes and squinting them down, opening your eyes to understand what you're looking at. And look, even when you're squinting and trying to get an impression, it's important to open your eyes up and just look at it and try to understand it three-dimensionally, understand what you're looking at. You don't just want to blindly copy, right? Which is a mistake a lot of people make. Okay, so let's see. Up. This thing is, all this stuff is always in my way. All right. So you're having trouble with the top, you said? Okay.
Yes.
This part up here, what's important is because you have all these, like the limbs blocking everything. So what you want to establish when we're going up here, you want to establish where this, you want to get this point, which you can see here, right? You can see this point, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go straight across, and do you see where her rib cage is? It's about right here, and then it breaks going up here. Now what I want you to do, instead of seeing all these tiny, what you're doing, you're kind of, you're saying I want to simplify, but you're doing too much detail, right? You're detailing it too much, and it's like you're breaking it down too much. So just squint down, and if you squint down, you're just going to see kind of 1, 2, like this. You see, which you kind of have. So you establish this point to here. Good. And so from here, let's see, here, like 1, 2, 3. This is going to come up some, just a little bit. Her hips are kind of going to be pushing forward a little. It looks like she's kind of leaning forward more than you have it. Right now, she might do that. Is this how she normally is?
Is that how I've been?
You're usually like a little bit more rotated towards me.
Towards you?
Yeah.
Okay, so even so, even if she is, so right now I would see this piece here, but then this piece would be coming out just a little bit more like that, because if I'm from here up, this point should be out. Do you see what I'm saying? So it should be out something like that. Now, that seems like it's a little bit too far. Okay, so we can bring it in some, just a little bit. My point is that you have her where it's kind of like leaning forward, okay? Now, if she's leaning forward like this, then let me go with the anatomy here. It's leaning forward, the anatomy here. This piece is going to be here. This is going to pop forward just a little bit, okay? And then this piece is going to be here. And what we're going to be looking at is 1, 2, coming up to here. So this is going to be kind of coming up, 1, 2, like that, okay? And then this piece right here, you have this piece, and it might, like this might come out just a little bit. You might fill this out just a little bit there. This might be coming out just a little bit like that. This is here. And then from here, you go from here, and the neck is ballpark, but it's going to widen up, and we're going to widen up on the back side just a little bit. Maybe a touch on the front. And then you're going to have, you have this point here, correct? And then this right here, you're going to, if you don't need to draw a line all the way down,
Okay.
but at least get 1, 2, okay? Just like this. Now when I'm looking at this, I'm not always just blurring my eyes. I'm also like kind of just looking at her and just not focusing as much. I'm not, or rather I am blurring my eyes. I'm not squinting down as much, I'm blurring my eyes,
Okay.
right? Remember that technique I talked about?
Yeah.
You stay focused here and then
Yes.
keep your focal point, depth of field here, but as you're looking over there, so she's appearing blurry. That's kind of what I do here. So that what that does, it takes away all that information with the deltoid. You just, instead of saying, oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you're just saying that one line. Do you see? So in this manner, you can get it now. This is anatomically looking like it could work.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Yeah. Okay. From here to here, ballpark, but this is looking a little bit long. It might come up just a little bit, maybe, and then this might chop up just a little bit. Actually, no, that does not. That doesn't look good.
That's the other, I mean, like,
That
I
doesn't
feel like
work.
I can see
That actually
like
looks
the
better.
bony region, and then it's soft where it's like up against her skin.
Oh, yeah.
Then how to handle.
So, okay, so the bony region you're talking about down here, and then this softness down here.
Right.
So, okay, so to get that, okay, you don't really need to break that down that much, but like to do that, so the elbow's kind of coming in some, and then what's happening is there's a subtle, it kind of comes out just a little bit, and it's very soft, right? Something like that. And then this part right here is going to be a little bit sharper, and then it kind of, what is coming up, and then it kind of breaks in. So it's just very subtle things that you're talking about here, right? Very subtle things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that, oh, and this part right here, so you're saying, oh, you want this, like you can make that a little bit sharper. Do you see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do that and then kind of cut up into it, right? Like very, very subtle things you can do. But my point is that if you're trying to get like this area right here anyway, I wouldn't worry about this right now. You need to establish the big shape. So you've been doing a good job with this, actually. This wrist right here is going to be about that thin compared to how thick that is right there. This to me seems a little bit wide, and that might be with how I drew it. It might actually be that this comes back just a little bit, right? It could be. Something like that. It's looking okay. I mean, it's ballpark. But anyway, that's how I would go about that. This part right here, like I said, this might come up just a little bit. Like this is looking good. The only thing that's really standing out to me is that this is a little bit broken up.
Mm-hmm.
To me, this looks a little bit long, and this looks a little bit short. And so if I'm looking at this, like if this point is here, then this point's going to be here, and this is kind of cutting up like that just a little bit. It's going to be coming higher up, and then this part's going to be not coming out and in as much, but it's going to be kind of a more gradual slope, and it's going to be starting, it's kind of coming up a little bit like this, and then this, it might cut, actually it might fill out just a little bit like that. So let me see how this looks. This is one of those things you kind of go back, so even doing something like that, do you see? It's like subtle things. The point is, you have the right mentality, you're in the ballpark. Like this is looking good. It is. But you just need to be able to dance with the position a little bit more than you are. So in a position like this where it's covering the body, you want to establish the hips. You want to know where the hips are. So like this part right here, like you kind of have this, you know, this, for example, like we can just go through 1 and then 2. Do you see that? And look at this. Now we've established the hips. And anything else we can go and fill in between what we need, but whoops, I rounded it off a little bit more than I wanted to there. But you kind of get the idea, right? See, 1, 2, 3. We've established that, and then you can kind of break it down from there. And then from here, just trying to understand where this piece is here, and then how this kind of slopes up into it. And see this line with this line with this line. And you've got to see all this at once. This, and then see how this is coming up. And you can even, I kind of did this, but I haven't really developed my drawing that much, is you can use this shadow shape right here if you want to and make it very soft to kind of give that, you know, it kind of accentuates it out. Just even putting that in will give that hip a three-dimensional effect that might help you to get the anatomy better.
Okay.
Do small things like that, you know, but like I said, keep these lines soft on the inside of the body. Do you have any questions? All right, you're on the right track. You just need more practice with the feet. I would, you know what, for you and Terry, both of y'all, I would like during the week, get anything you can practice off of and just practice your block-ins with this stuff. You'll get it. The feet, you have the idea for it, but you need to just get those subtle pieces, you know, just like I'm talking about the small subtle pieces without detailing. Does that make sense? Meaning, being able to get, for example, like you're going through here, and getting like this point, how it kind of comes off like this, but then understanding that it's not going to look right if it's just a sharp angle, so we're just going to do a slight cut. Okay. And then we're going to do this 1, and then just another cut here. Do you see? Now watch what happens when we bring this together. 1, just kind of comes out like that. 1, 2, and then 3. There we go. And Actually, let's bring mine back down. Shape this. Now, do you see that?
Yes. Okay.
And those are subtle things, but we're not detailing, but it's the blocking, and you're just doing,
Right.
because you have to do that with feet to get it like standing. The feet are weird, and that's why they say good draftsmen, that they're able to, draftsman is somebody who can draw, okay? Somebody who's good at drawing, okay?
I know what a
You
dress
learned
is.
something. Well, I'm not so sure you did, okay? And so, and so like, that's why you get, they say look at the joints. The joints are subtle. And you can still, just because you got the joint doesn't mean that, oh, I worked all day and I detailed it. You got the block in.
Okay.
It's a couple lines, like 1 or 2.
Okay, that makes sense.
Good. You're on the right track. Way better than Terry. I mean way better. That idiot.